What exercises will give me real results fast? This is what every single person wants to know. But before I can tell you what exercises will get you results, you have to understand that there's one thing that matters more than all of the exercises in the world. Now, when it comes to getting results, no matter if it's weight loss, building muscle, improving athletic performance, or even just wanting to feel better about yourself, one thing that will determine whether or not you get the results that you want is your diet. If you watch one YouTube video, learn the wrong diet tips, and then follow them for the next 6 months, you will get the results that you want. In fact, you would have gotten those same results if you never even stepped foot into the gym, and instead, just followed those bad diet tips. But because you are here watching this video, I'm going to assume that you already know that diet is important. So let's focus on the workout portion. So here's my criteria. First, they have to be compound movements. This means that they engage multiple muscle groups at the same time. Second, they have to be effective for the majority of people. Obviously, if you're recovering from an injury, there are certain things that you shouldn't do. And third, these exercises should be challenging, meaning that you can use them to progressively overload over time. You can't really build muscle with wall sits. Alright, so starting off our list, we have squats. Squats are an amazing exercise. They're very effective. They help improve your lower body strength and power. They also have been shown to increase overall leg muscle activation. Now, there was a study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research that found that front squats were more effective at increasing muscle activation compared to back squats. Now, does this mean that you should completely throw out back squats? No. It just means that maybe you prioritize front squats a little bit more, and you can do both. You can go heavy with back squats, and you can go lighter and focus on technique with front squats. Next up on the list, we have Now, deadlifts are one of the best exercises that you can do for your posterior chain, which includes your glutes, hamstrings, and your lower back. They're also great for grip strength. Unfortunately, they are a high risk of injury if done incorrectly. So make sure you learn proper form before jumping into this movement. Now, there was a study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research that found that conventional deadlifts were more effective at increasing muscle activation compared to the sumo deadlift. Again, does this mean that you should completely throw out sumo? No. It just means that maybe you prioritize conventional deadlifts a little bit more. Next up on the list, we have bench press. Now, bench press is one of the best exercises that you can do for your upper body, specifically your chest, shoulders, and triceps. It helps develop pushing strength and overall upper body, muscular endurance. A study found that increasing the incline of the bench press resulted in greater chest muscle activation. Now, does this mean that you should completely throw out flat bench presses? No. It just means that maybe you prioritize incline bench presses a little bit more. Next up on the list, we have overhead. Overhead presses are another great exercise for your upper body, but it's going to target different muscles compared to bench press. Specifically, it's going to target your shoulders more directly. It also targets your triceps, your upper chest, and your core. Now, a study found that when you use a heavier weight load, it results in greater muscle activation in your shoulders. But when you use a lighter weight load and you perform the movement faster, it results in greater muscle activation in your triceps. So does this mean that you need to throw out heavy weight loads? No. It just means that maybe you prioritize lighter weight loads and perform them faster. Next up on the list, we have rows. Now, rows are one of the best exercises that you can do for your back. They help develop pull-in strength, and they also target your biceps and your forearms. There's a lot of different ways that you can perform rows, but the main thing that you want to focus on is pulling your elbows back and down towards your sides. Now, a study found that bending the trunk forward resulted in greater muscle activation in your lats compared to keeping your trunk straight. Now, does this mean that you need to stop keeping your trunk straight while you row? No. It just means that maybe you prioritize bending your trunk forward a little bit more. Next up on the list, we have lunges. Lunges are an amazing exercise for your lower body. They help develop leg strength, and they also target your glutes and your hamstrings. Now, there's a ton of different variations that you can do. For example, walk-in lunges, reverse lunges, lateral lunges. One of my favorite variations is the Bulgarian split squat. Now, a study found that when you perform lunges with a heavier weight load, it results in greater muscle activation in your quads and your glutes. So, does this mean that you need to throw out lighter weight loads? No. It just means that maybe you prioritize heavier weight loads. Next up on the list, we have shoulder raises. Shoulder raises are great for your shoulders, specifically your mid and rear delts. They also target your upper chest and your triceps. Now, a study found that when you raise your arms past the horizontal position, it results in greater muscle activation in your shoulders. Does this mean that you need to stop raising your arms below the horizontal position? No. It just means that maybe you prioritize raising your arms above the horizontal position a little bit more. And last but not least, we have calf raises. Calf raises are often overlooked, but they are an important exercise for developing your lower leg strength and power. The most common variation is the seated calf raise, but you can also do them standing. You can do them on an incline, and you can even do them with pull-ups. Now, a study found that performing calf raises on an incline resulted in greater muscle activation compared to performing them seated or standing. So does this mean that you need to throw out seated and standing calf raises? No, it just means that maybe you prioritize incline calf raises a little bit more. Alright, so those are some of the best exercises that you can do to get results fast. And remember, the results that you get from doing these exercises will be directly related to how hard you push yourself during your workouts. You expect to lift a weight for 2 seconds and get the same results as someone who pushes themselves to failure. So don't be afraid to push yourself, but also make sure that you have proper coaching and that you're retaking the necessary steps to recover. If you enjoyed this video, then you're going to love the next 2 videos that I have for you. Check out the first video that YouTube thinks you should watch. Also, here's a video on how to properly do a curl. And lastly, here's a video on how to properly do a squat. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.